Praise the Lord, everyone. Happy Thursday. I pray everyone is doing well on today. Just thank God for just this brand new day. God is just so good. He is so good. So I just wanted to hop on here and I just wanted to encourage you all that God is our provider. It don't matter what your bank account look like. It don't matter if you have a job. It don't matter. You may cannot afford it, but God owns it all. Like his word says, the cattle on 1,000 hills, it all belongs to him. So piggyback, back in March the 4th, I had, went to work and was told they didn't have any hours to give me. And so I was out of work for a while, and but God was providing, he was blessing me. I was getting random cash apps and God was just making ways for me. April the 14th, I had received a text about reporting back to work on April the 16th and April the 30th. So I was able to report back to work. Keep in mind, God had been providing, and I didn't even need money then. This was just addition. So God had been providing, and He allowed me to return back to work April the 16th and April the 30th for them 2 days. And I was grateful for them 2 days. He allowed me to return, to work all of May as well. But in the meantime, God was still providing. He was still providing, making sure I had everything I need. And then May the 31st, I had received a call. I had worked my last day in May that I had worked was May the 28th. And I had received a call May the 31st that there was no more hours. They didn't have a schedule for me. So here I am out of work again. Again, God is still providing. So here we are, we're going into June, and God had been providing. He had been providing, making sure I had everything I need and more. God is so good. He used this resource that I have been going to, that I know God led me to back in April. And He used this resource back in June to bless me, to provide transportation for me, to cover my transportation. God is so good. So continuing on, so June the 28th, I was applying to jobs. I had applied to like 5 or 6 jobs. I was applying to jobs back in April as well, when I got the news on March the 4th, and then I waited till April the 1st and I started applying for work. But that was only because I had filed unemployment and it was required. But then I found out that my unemployment had got denied. So after that, I pretty much stopped applying again. But God had allowed me to return back to work for those 2 days in April and the month of May. And then, like I said, I have not done any work since May 28th. But keep in mind, God has still been providing outside of a job. So, like I said, June 28th, I was able to apply for like 5 jobs or so. And I was able to go on an interview like July the 8th or whatever. And I did get a rejection from that position or whatever, but it don't matter because again, God has still been providing. July the 1st, I had got an email for a $125 Food Line gift card, and I was able to use that to get groceries. Keep in mind, I'm on food stamps, and my food stamps had been getting cut. Even though I was reporting that I haven't done no work, food stamps were still getting cut June, July. So anyway, so here it is, July, God blesses me with that gift card. I'm able to buy food. And so here it is, I'm going on interviews in July. I've been on 3 interviews. I've been to a job fair or hiring event, and I'm just taking the necessary steps because we can't just pray and not have action. Like God's word says, faith without works is dead. So as I'm praying for better opportunities, I'm also taking action, taking the necessary steps, going on events, going on interviews, doing what is necessary. So continuing on, it's getting to the end of July and my food is running low. So I'm trying to reach out to social services and, trying to get the help that I need. And I was able to talk to somebody on July the 16th, and they were supposed to be giving me $106 in food stamps or whatever. So I'm waiting on this $106 supplement, and here it is. Time is going by, and I'm calling and I'm not getting it. So I'm just praying about, like, Lord, please, allow the food stamps, this money to be on this card by August the 1st, so I can buy me some groceries or touch somebody's heart so I can be able to go buy my groceries. So right on July the 31st, I had received a call from the lady. And she was like, we're doing $106 supplement for July, but we're going to go back to June and we're going to put $63 on for June, and it will be available after 2:30 that day. This was on July the 31st. So my food stamp card, God turned it to 4 cents to 192 in one day. So I was able to buy my groceries on August the 1st. And I cannot thank God enough. Like, God provided. He provided. He provided. So continuing on, I went on this was my second or my third interview I had went on the other week or whatever, last week. And so, for those that don't know my situation, I did not have any summer clothes, and I was believing God, to provide for me, for summer clothes, and to be honest, not much clothes at all. So I was really trusting God, to provide for me or whatever. I did not have the money to go take myself out and buy summer clothes or whatever. So as I was going to my third interview, my career coach that I had, that God blessed me with back in May, she had took me or whatnot, but she asked me about my clothing situation, because like she's been seeing that I've been wearing like sweaters and pants, and it's 90 degrees and up. So I guess she was just concerned. And she pretty much asked me about it. And she was like, she said something like, yeah, are you cold, or do you like wearing? And I said, well, this is all I have. I don't have summer wear. I have like 2 short sleeve shirts, but those are more like lounge wear, just telling her my situation. And she know I don't have the money to buy it. And she said, okay, I'm going to text this person about that. It's another resource that God led me to back in April. And she was like, yeah, I thought about it. I thought about it last time. She had been thinking about it. So that means God has been placing it on her heart to wonder, like, okay, why is Shanice out here wearing these sweaters and these pants, and it's 90 some degrees weather? So God is just so good. So the resource that God led me back to in April or whatever, just this past Monday, God used them to take me to the store and bought me clothing. And when I say clothing, I mean clothing. I mean all types of tops, casual tops, dress pants, capris, belts, flat sandals, a new purse. I wasn't expecting all of that. I was just expecting 3 or 4 outfits, but God did it exceedingly abundantly above all I could ever ask or think. I want to encourage you all that God is your provider. It doesn't matter what you don't have. It doesn't matter what you can't afford, because I couldn't afford to take myself and buy summer clothes. I'm out here walking around in sweatpants. I'm out here walking in sweaters, in 90 degree and up weather, because that's what I had. I didn't have capris. I didn't have this stuff that you would have during the summertime, and I couldn't afford to go out and buy it either. But I was praying and I was trusting God that He was going to provide, that He was going to make a way for me to be able to get summer wear. The summer wear I had was, like I said, this shirt right here I've had, and then I have another short sleeve shirt that's more like a lounge wear, more like a pajama wear. And then I have another short sleeve shirt, and that's it. So I have pretty much like 3 short sleeve summer shirts. Everything else is winter pretty much. And the winter I have is not much. So I still have to trust God for when winter comes. Like, I just cannot thank God enough for providing for me. How He literally used the lady from the resource that He led me to in April, take me to the store Monday. And we was in there for 3 hours. And I mean, she was going in there and she was looking. She pretty much was acting like she was my mom. And that mean a lot, because keep in mind, my mom is no longer here. I lost my mom when I was 9 years old. To have that support in the store was such a blessing. And I'm trying on, I have not did this in a while. It's been like 3 years since I took myself shopping for clothes. It was 2021, right before I started my new job then. That's when I was able to go shopping for clothing. But it's been 3 years, so I don't really know the size I wear. It's just been so long, so I have to try on all these clothes, and I was exhausted after all of this. I had to try on all these shirts, all these clothes, dress, and shoes, and I like my clothes kind of baggy and big, and the lady that was taking me, she was like, that's too big, Shanice, in a nice way, that's too big. It looks like someone just gave you your clothing. And, I didn't understand because, that's just how I pretty much like it. I like it big. But we're thinking about my job, the new job that I'm believing God for. You have to be professional. You have to be dressed a certain way, and your attire and your first impression matters. And so I'm not thinking about all that. I'm just thinking about how I'm used to doing it. But God has me in a transition. He has me in a transition. He's changing everything about me. He's not just working on me spiritually, but he's working on me physically, emotionally, in every area. He is working on me. And I just thank God for changing me, how he is changing me from the inside out. I cannot thank God enough. So as I'm in the fitting room trying stuff on, and I'm just talking to God, I'm like, God, I'm doing this. The shirt was way too big. You should have saw the pants I had, way too big, but that's just how I like it, that's what I'm used to, So I'm trying it on. And I'm like, God, is this too big? Is this too big, Lord? And I'm doing this. It's very big, like baggy and everything, but that's just how I like it. I'm like, Lord, is this too big, Lord? Is this too big? And tell me why God sent the angel to the store to speak to me. I pretty much believe I had an angelic encounter right at the store. God was with me. I come out the fitting room, and a lady is just sitting right there, just out of the blue. She came out of nowhere. That's too big. That is too big. And the lady that took me was like, that's what I was trying to tell her. I was trying to tell her that was nobody but God. I was trying to tell her that we're trying to get her new stuff, for her new job. And she's trying to work in like an office setting. And the lady was like, yeah, that's too big. It's okay for fun. But if you're trying to get a job, they're not going to hire you. That's too big. You're going to be the first person that they see. And that first impression matters. You have to look the part. You have to look a certain way. You have to be professional. That's too big. And I was emotional because I know that was God. And the lady was already telling me it was too big. So, we switched things out, tried to get my size, and I tried some more stuff. And the lady was like, yes, that looks nice. Now that looks nice. That looks nice. I just thank God for how he was with me at the store. I'm telling you, God is with you everywhere you go. God is with you everywhere you go. Take God with you everywhere you go. And I just could not thank God enough for how he was there with me at the store. I was literally in the fitting room talking to God, asking God, God, is this too big? Just like that, I walk out the fitting room and it's a lady out of nowhere. That's too big. That was nobody but God. The lady that took me was telling me that. And I didn't understand it because I'm like, this is how, I'm used to doing it. But I know God is changing me, especially for the new job that I'm believing him for. I know that means a new attire. I can't go up in there with baggy clothes and with childish clothes with stuff on it like a kid. God is really working on my dress. And that's the thing. Change is hard. Change is hard. It's not easy, but it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I just cannot thank God enough. So after that was done, the lady that took me was like, Shanice, I don't know what you believe in, your faith and everything, but that was an angel sent from God. Like I look and she's nowhere to be found. It's like she disappeared. And I was like, yes, I do believe God, and I do believe that was God for sure. I was literally just in the fitting room asking God, is this too big? And I had pretty much had an angelic encounter, and I just cannot thank God enough. I cannot thank God enough how he blessed me, how he provided the clothing before the job. Before the job come, God has already provided. He has already provided. Like I said, he has been providing food, clothing, everything I need. When the job come, that's just addition. So I'm here to let you know that God is bigger. He's bigger than a job. It don't matter what your bank account says. It don't matter what you can afford because God owns it all. He owns it all. I cannot thank him enough. They spent almost $600 on me at the store on Monday. And I mean, I got clothing 19 tops, one dress, 13 bottoms, dress wear and casual bottoms, a pair of flats, a pair of sandals, and belts, and a purse. I was not expecting none of that. I was expecting maybe, okay, 3 or 4 outfits. But God blew my mind. God blew my mind. I was content in the little that I had. I was grateful for the little that I had. And God blessed me with more. He blessed me with more. He showed me it don't matter what your bank account look like. It don't matter if you have a job. I'm thinking that I have to have a job and that I have to get money in order for me to go take myself shopping. It was just so amazing to be able to try on clothes, to be able to go shopping. Like, God is so good. I kept getting emails before this happened about clothing. And it was to this certain store that we went to. It just was popping up, about clothing. I know that was a sign. Okay, you getting summer clothes soon. You getting summer clothes soon. And I just cannot thank God enough. He done blessed me with the summer clothes. He is so good. He is so good. I can switch up out of my outfits. I don't have to wear the same outfit to church every Sunday. When I tell you all I had was one dress outfit, I had one pair of dress pants that I would wear almost every Sunday to church because that's all I had for dress wear. Like, God is so good. He is so good. And then I didn't have no dress tops. No dress tops for church. None. I was just wearing this one sweater, this winter sweater, you would call it, long sleeves. It's like pink, and it had designs on it. I think I was wearing that almost every Sunday because that's what I had for dress wear. I didn't want to wear like jeans to church because I have like 4 pair of jeans. I just didn't want to wear jeans. So I was wearing this one black pair of dress pants almost every Sunday, unless it was like a dress down Sunday. Then I think I would throw out jeans or something or a sweatsuit. But now I can switch out. This Sunday, I can wear one of my new outfits. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I got options now. I don't have to wear the same thing every week. I can pick and choose. I have options because not only is this clothing for my new job, but most of this clothing is dress wear. And I can wear that to church as well. So I just thank God. Not just that, I also was able to get 2 cardigans. That way I can put those on when I get cold or something. Like, God is so good. He is so good. I cannot thank him enough. I just cannot thank him enough. He is just so amazing. He is just so amazing. So here it is. I'm still applying, still haven't, got a better job yet or anything like that. But, phew, today I got a call from my supervisor about returning back to work. So I returned back to work on Monday. This would be just a temporary thing. I thought this door was closed because, like I said, May 31st, I got the call that they didn't have no more hours to give me and that they would call me if anything changed. And I thought the door was shut. I thought that was it. I got the call this morning about returning back. And I'm able to return back this Monday, August the 12th. God is so good. God has shown me it don't even matter because he's my provider. He has blessed me. He has provided with everything I need. This is just extra. I don't need a thing. And I cannot thank God enough. I know he's transitioning me into something better. I am believing God for more stability work. And I know this is just a temporary return, But I thank God for him allowing me to be able to return because I did like this job. This tomorrow will be 3 years since I've been at this job. And I just thank God that I'm able to return. I'm grateful. As I've been applying and going on interviews, and my supervisor told me this morning, they was like, yeah, I've been getting phone calls, have you gotten a better job? And I put a good word in for you, and I wanted them to tell you everything I said about you. I said, no, I haven't heard back. I said, but I am open to returning. But once something better opens up, I will have to leave. because I need stability. And he was like, I know, Shanice, I understand. I told you you're going to get a better job, that you're not going to be here, at this job forever. And so they're completely aware that once something better opens, I will be leaving. So I'm still on my search for better employment, but I'm going to enjoy whatever time, that God has left for me at this position. I know he has me returning for a reason. It could be another door opening up at this place in another area. I just never know how God is going to move, how God is going to work. So I'm here to also encourage you that it's not over until God say it's over. It's not over until God say it's over, because look, I thought it was over. I haven't done no work since May 28th. Remember, this is the second time this happened this year. March the 4th, I had got that news, and I was out till April the 16th. That's a whole month and a half with no work, but God was providing. Then I was able to return for all of May. Then I was out all of June, all of July. But in the meantime, I was getting connected to resources. God was connecting me to resources. I was able to go through this training program last month in July. And now I'm a certified facilitator to work with children who are dealing with grief. I was able to focus on that for July. I was able to go on interviews. I was able to apply for jobs. I was able to go on, the hiring event I went on, and even I was able to get involved in different, stuff during this time, and just definitely a resting season. All of June, all of July, no work. And here it is, August the 8th. God allowed me to get the phone call. I can return back Monday, or pretty much whenever I want to return back. I just said, Monday. So they're about to get busy now. So now they have the hours to give. But I know this is just a temporary thing, and I'm just going to thank God for it, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it is, because I know I have been in transition all year. And I know soon this door will be closed for good, but I'm grateful for whatever time that I'm able to return, that I will be able to leave on good terms, that I will actually be able to say goodbye and, put a 2 weeks notice in. When something better opens up, I will be able to leave a 2 weeks in, and leave professionally, So I'm just grateful. I just thank God. I'm like, Lord, help me not to get too comfortable, because once a better door opens, when you open up a better door, help me to be ready to move, and to move quickly, to put the 2 weeks in, and that'll be the end, because I know God has something better. But I thank God for allowing me to be able to return for whatever little bit of time. Because like I said, it don't even matter. God has been providing. He blessed me with the food. He provided the food. I was able to get almost $200 of groceries on August the 1st. When God restored my food stamps that were cut in June and July, he restored June and July. And I was able to get groceries on August the 1st, almost $200 worth. That was nobody but God. When God touched the heart on July the 1st and blessed me with a $125 Food Line gift card, where I was able to get food. So God is providing. Then God touched the heart to take me shopping so I can get all the stuff that I need for my new job, and etc. Clothing, summer wear, stuff like that. I don't have to continue to go out in 90-degree weather wearing sweaters and sweatsuits and sweating and hot. And there's nothing you can do about it, because this is all you have. Because remember, most of you guys may know, when I was homeless back in 2022, I lost a lot of stuff. I had a lot of my stuff with me, but then I had a lot of stuff that wasn't with me. Transitioning, I was bouncing around from place to place, and a lot of my stuff was not with me. It was with another lady. So what happened was, when God blessed me with my place in June 2023, the stuff I was able to take with me, but the other stuff was still at one of the other ladies' home, because it was 2 different ladies that were really assisting me. And so the other one, the other half of my stuff was with her. And so it just got to the point where it was just so long, and I was like, you know what? I just told her that she could just go ahead and give it away, that she can just go ahead and give it to Goodwill, because I was looking at it like, you know what, you haven't had that stuff in this many months. You're good. You're fine. So that stuff, and that most of that stuff was summer stuff. I'm pretty sure it was. So that stuff was gone. But it is what it is, because God has provided. He has provided. And I just cannot thank him enough. I'm just forever grateful. Like, God is just so good. He is just so good every time I turn around. He is just so good. And I was just praising God. I was just in tears of joy. Like I had to get on here and I just had to share this word with somebody, this testimony to encourage somebody that is trusting God. You know, you're looking at your bank account and you're saying, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. I'm telling you, it don't matter. It don't matter because God has provided. There has been plenty of times where I've literally been on my last roll of toilet paper with a few cents, some change in my bank account, and didn't even have the money to get it and didn't know how I was going to get it. But I would pray and I would trust God, and God would touch a heart to sow into me so I would be able to get my toilet paper, my paper towels, whatever it is that I need. So God has been providing. I'm telling you, you don't have to go around asking, begging nobody for nothing. If you're in need, all you got to do is go to God. All you got to do is trust him. If you need food, if you need this, whatever it is that you need, all you have to do is go to God and trust him. I'm telling you, he has came through for me every single time. Every single time. I have gotten random payments in the middle of the night, 4 in the morning, 1 in the morning, and I wake up to random payments. Like, God is good. God is good, and he has been providing. He has been providing. He has showed me in this year of 2024 has increased my faith like never before. He has showed me that he's bigger than a job. He's bigger than my bank account. It don't matter. And I just feel like now, God is like, well, you know, I bless you. You got your food. I provided your food. I provided you with your summer wear. You know, go ahead back to work. That's just addition. God has already provided. Go ahead back to work. You don't even need to go back to work, but you know, go ahead. You know, you know that I'm your provider, and you know that it's not a job, but it's me. That it's me that provides for you. That you do not need a job to get what you need. You do not have to have a job to get clothing. God is our provider, like his word says. He will provide for us, just like he takes care. It came to mind when he takes care of the birds, when he feeds them, when he clothes the lilies of the grass, and they don't labor, they don't work or spend. That's what God just did for me. He's been feeding me. He's been providing for me. He just blessed me with a clothing. And I'm not doing nothing, no work, no labor, no spending. But God is providing. He showed me it don't matter. I got you. I'm your heavenly Father. I know what it is that you have need of. I know you need clothes. I know you need food. You don't have to have a job to be able to get the basic necessities. God promised us that he will provide for us, that he will supply our every need according to his riches and glory. That's what his word says in Philippians, according to his riches and glory. Guess what that means? It don't have nothing to do with us. God's provision don't have nothing to do with us. It don't matter if we have a job or not. It don't matter. God's provision is guaranteed whether we work or not. And I just thank God. I can't thank God enough. I just can't thank God enough for just addition. Returning back to work, I don't even need money. Like, God has taken care of me. He has provided every need. This is just overflow. That's what I'll call it. This is just addition. This is just increase. This is just overflow. I don't even need to go back to work. God is providing. He's provided food. He just provided me with clothes. I'm thinking I gotta work. I gotta make money so I can get summer clothes. God, he just showed me, no, I got you. Let me touch this person hard. Let me touch this person hard. It just happened so fast. Literally. When the lady that got the resource, you know, asked me about my clothing situation, and she said she was going to text this person or send them a message. 2 days later, someone reached out to me from this resource about taking me shopping. And then a few days later, they was able to take me shopping. Literally, it was just on Monday. So literally just 3 days ago. And while I'm shopping, after I shopped for clothes, the lady was like, oh yeah, you know, the lady at the place also, she said, make sure you're well taken care of. She said, you also get you some belts, you know, get shoes as well, and also get you a new purse. That ain't nobody but God. Look, all I had was one pair of sneakers. And I had put it on my short, I think a week or so ago, about being grateful for what you have. All I had was one pair of sneakers. But the one pair of sneakers I had, God provided. Back in January, he touched the lady's heart to take me to the shoe store and buy me the one pair of sneakers that I do have. God is so good. One pair of sneakers, and I had one pair of boots that was given to me. I think it was December 2022. God touched the lady's heart. It was a Christmas gift. She blessed me with a new pair of boots for Christmas. I had no boots. None. I was no boots at all. So I'm grateful for the one pair of sneakers I got and the one pair of boots I got. Just this Monday, God allowed me to get a pair of flats and a pair of sandals. Because keep in mind, it's still summertime. Now I can wear sandals out. I don't have to wear sneakers now. It's 90 degrees and up. I can put on my sandals. Not just that, the flats, the dress shoes, I can wear them to church. I don't have to wear sneakers to church every week now. I can put on my dress shoes to church to go with my dress clothes now. Like, I'm grateful. Like, I know this sounds like a little thing, but I'm grateful. Like, I'm just thankful. Like, God is good. I mean, he will turn your little, he will take your little and turn it into much. It don't matter. The little that you have, be grateful for the little that you have. Be grateful. I was grateful for one pair of sneakers. I was grateful for the winter's clothing that I had because I was grateful that I still had clothes to wear. It may have been winter clothes and I may was going out there sweating and hot and 90 degrees, but hey, I had clothes. So I was still grateful. I had clothes. And I know so many people were looking at me and they probably like, why is this girl wearing this in 90 degrees? Because everybody didn't know my situation, you know? But that's okay. God flipped the script. He flipped the script, you know? And I know summer is almost over, but hey, these clothes I can wear for next summer as well, you know, as far as the tops, because the bottoms are, you know, dress pants or whatnot. You know, it's 11 dress pants and then is it 10 dress pants? I think it's like, yeah, most of them are dress pants and then it's 2 pair of capris. Either way, I'm grateful. You know, I'm grateful either way because it could have been nothing. You know, it could have been zero. Like I said, God blew my mind. He blew my mind because I was only expecting, okay, I'm going to get like 3 or 4 new outfits. And I was still going to be grateful either way. But God blew my mind. I can't thank him enough. And then to get that call from my supervisor today to report back that I can come back to work whenever I can. Wow. And then to make sure that we're on the same page, to let them know I'm open to returning, but once a better door opens, I will be leaving, you know, to make them aware. And we're on the same page. Like, I just thank God, you know, I'm just forever grateful. I'm just forever grateful. Like, God is just so good. It's the little things, like even when I'm sitting at the table and I'm getting ready to eat my food, I'm grateful. I'm almost with tears when I'm sitting down eating because I'm just grateful for food. Like, I don't take it. I don't take it for granted. I don't take food for granted. Even if it's just a peanut butter and jelly, I'm grateful because I know God has been providing food. And if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have nothing. I wouldn't have no food to eat. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful. God is just so good. He 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 is so good. God is so good. He is so good. So what I was told, you know, I asked him about the hour situation and because how it's going to go because I have to, you know, I don't drive. So I have to, you know, get transportation. So I'm asking them about the hours and how it's going to work. And, you know, up until September, I can work up to 32 hours a week up until September. Once September comes, it will decrease because they'll probably be slow again and it will go back down. You know, it will go back down to 8 a week. But by then, prayerfully, I'm at a better opportunity because I know God has me in transition all year. So I know God has me returning for a reason. I don't know why I'm returning, but I'm returning brand new. New clothes, new purse. People are not going to be able to probably even recognize me when I return back on Monday. I'm just so grateful that I'm able to return if it's just 2 or 3 weeks, because August will only have 3 weeks left. In September, it'll go back to like 1 day a week, which is definitely not ours. So I'm still believing God that He is about to transition me into a better opportunity. But even if I'm out again for a while, it don't matter, because God has already shown me that He is my provider, that it's not a job. And that God is in control of our lives, every single area. He controls the hours that I work. He controls when I work, what time I work. He is in control. He lets them know. He tells HR or whoever how many hours to give her. He is in control. Even when I was on the phone with my supervisor, he was saying that, how it's been crazy there and stuff like that, and how his boss didn't even mention about bringing me back. But he asked about me. He said, we about to get busy. Am I bringing Shanice back? And he said it took him some time to answer. I think he said 2 days. So he got the answer and he reached out to me this morning. And I know that was nobody but God. The fact that He even had me on His mind, I know God put me on His mind or on His heart to ask about me returning back. And just for this, I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's just going to be a little bit of time, because we're busy in August. Next month will be slow again, and they probably not going to have no hours again. So, I'm not going to get too comfortable, because I know it's just temporary. I'm just grateful that God's allowing me to return again. It seemed like He keep allowing me to return. I be thinking the doors closed when I was out in March for a month and a half. I was praying, Lord, if it's your will for me to return, and He didn't provide it, made sure I had everything need, and then here go the text, coming back to work. Okay, that's just increase, because God is providing. That's increase. Just like now. This is just increase, because I don't need nothing. I don't need nothing. I don't need anything. So I don't know. I don't believe it's going to be too much longer. I'm thinking it's just going to be about 2 or 3 weeks. But that's what I'm thinking. But whatever God's will is, because I know, His thoughts and His ways are higher than our ways. I'm just thinking I'm only going to be there for about 2 or 3 weeks. Because in September, we will be slow. And that means they won't have hours again. But we'll see. I'm just praying for God's will to be done. I am continuing to look for work. I've been going on interviews, and I've been getting rejections, doors closing in my face. But maybe that's God saying it's not time for you to move on yet. Maybe it's a reason why He has me returning for this little bit of time. It could be for August. It could be for September. Maybe He'll bless me with something in October, November. It could be until January, but I don't know. But this is a blind faith walk because it was just so much uncertainty, as far as my job and even my finances, not knowing what's next. You're out of work, but you don't know if the door is closed. You're praying like, Lord, what's going on? Is the door closed for good? Or is it just temporary? And I believe God just really had me in a season of rest. Well, a lot of rest this year, for real. And I believe also this could prepare me for the new job that God has for me, because I've been out of work since May, and I need to get back into the routine of working. I need to, I've been out since May, and I know that doesn't seem like a long time, but for me, that's kind of a long time. I've been out of work since May, and that's almost 3 months that I haven't done any work at all. So I believe I do need to get back into the routine of working. It would be 24 hours a week, which it was 10 hours. But when I come back on Monday, it would be 24 hours, 8 hours a day, 3 times a week for 3 weeks until September. September, they were saying it would go back, it would go back down probably 8 hours or 0. But I'm just praying for God's will. It says this time you will stay. Amen. I honestly don't believe I'm gonna be there much longer. I do believe God has a better opportunity for me. I believe this really is just a temporary return. And I believe He is about to transition me into a better opportunity. Um, yeah, I believe He's about to transfer me into a, personally, I cannot work full time because I have other commitments and stuff like that. So actually, I only can work part time. So I've been praying specifically for no more than about 20 to 24 hours a week, which is like 3 days a week, which is good, you know. So personally, I cannot work full time because I do have other commitments. I'm involved in other things as well. So I cannot do full time. But I appreciate your prayers. I'm just grateful that I will be able to return, you know, for however long I'm able to return. You know, that's how I was in April. You know, when God allowed me to return for April 16th and April 30th, I was grateful for however long. And then for May, I was grateful. Then when I got the call, you out again, I was like, okay. But now I got the call, you back in again. I don't know how long it's gonna be. Like I said, it could just be for to finish out August while we're busy, and then, like I said, September after Labor Day we get slow again. There's gonna be no point of me being there. They're probably not gonna have hours to give, but it don't matter because God has shown me that He's gonna provide for me either way. You know, He's gonna provide for me either way. You know, it don't matter if I make enough. You know, it really don't matter. I know God is going to continue to provide. He's going to continue to make sure I have everything I need. So even if September come around, they're like, you know what, you know, we don't have hours to give you again. It's not going to be a surprise. We didn't been down this road before and before. You know, this job has always been unstable. You know, when I first started working there in 2021 in August, it was good. I was getting good hours. I was making good money. But then once, you know, April came in 2022, that's when stuff started getting unstable. And then no, April I was cut, May I was cut, and I think all the way until maybe about April, no, this was April 2023, I was cut. And then the hours went up around August 2023, and it was like a temporary thing. It was temporary for August, September, and October. And then November 2023, the hours cut. December, they was still cut. January, they was cut. This is 2024 now. February, March. Oh, keep in mind, let me piggyback. When I started this job August 2021, my hours were good in the beginning. Keep in mind, when I first started this position, it was only supposed to be a 4-week temporary position. So the fact that I'm still here, that's nobody but God, because when I started in 2021, it was only supposed to be 4 weeks. This opportunity was only supposed to be 4 weeks. Here we are 3 years later, and I'm still employed there. Whether it's been in and out or not, I still have a job there. I'm still on the payroll. That's nobody but God. I'm telling you, it's not over until God says it's over. When 2021, I was working, making good money. Then in 2022, April, I was cut. Then when we piggy it, April, May, June, also November 2022, I went to work and they said, you know what? We don't have no more hours to give you for the rest of November. So I'm out of work. This was right before I got forced out of my last toxic living environment, and then I was homeless. So all this happened back to back. You go to work on that Monday, you find out they don't have no more hours to give you for the rest of November. Then a few days later, you get forced out of the toxic living environment. Now you're home. Then I was homeless. All this was happening. Life hit hard. So as this happened, God opened up another door, and I was starting a new job right in November, a week later. Right when I was told November 4th, I believe it was like the 14th or the 15th, whatever day that Monday was in 2022, November, when I was told they had no more hours to give me, that following week, I was starting a new job. So, and that new job helped me out, you know, and God was providing through that job, and He still was providing in other ways. I was able to return back to my first job in December, but it was only 8 hours a week. So I wasn't really working hours. January 2023 came. I believe the hours went up for a little bit. Keep in mind, this is when I was still homeless. So it was nice to be able to get out and, you know, work so my mind wouldn't be so focused on, you know, my situation. I was working January 2023, hours were good. February 2023, I was cut. I believe it happened in January. February, March, April, May, June, July. Cut. August 2023, hours went up. Good hours. September 2023, good hours. October 2023, good hours. November 2023, hours cut. December 2023, hours cut. Keep in mind, in the meantime, I'm praying, asking God for more hours and stuff like that. January 2024, your hours still cut. They was getting busy, but my hours was still 8 hours a week, even though we were busy. February 2024, still the same thing, 8 hours a week. This is my birth month. 8 hours a week. Then March 4th, we don't have no more work for you. We don't have no more hours to give you for right now. So now you out of work until April the 16th, a whole month and a half with no work. But God was still providing. He was still providing. Still providing, making sure I had everything that I needed and more. Everything that I needed and more. Keep in mind, in March, when this happened, I had went to church one Sunday in March. I believe it was March 17th. And I had $4 and something left in my bank account. And I sold it in the offering. Later on that day, I got a $200 payment. And then 3 days later, I had received another payment. And then March 27th, I received another $200 payment. Do you see how God multiplied that $4 and something that I had left in my bank account? So trust God with your finances. You know, it don't matter what your bank account look like. It don't matter. If you feel led to give, give. I don't care if it's your last $5 because God has shown me that he's bigger. It don't matter. It don't matter what's in my bank account. It don't matter. God multiplied that seed within 2 weeks. March the 17th, gave that $4 something in my bank account. Later on that night, got a $200 payment. 3 days later, $100 payment. This was March the 20th. Then on March the 27th, a $200 payment. God had multiplied that $4. That little $4 that I had, $4 and some change, I gave it in the offering. God multiplied that seed times 4. $400, that's times 3 times 4. God is bigger than our financial situation. I'm here to tell you that it don't matter. It don't matter if you at your last $5. It don't matter. Because God, he's full of ways. He's full of resources to bless you because God is our source. God is our source. God is our source. He is our source. I remember going to the store, piggyback. I remember just a few months ago for dinner, I was eating fish. And I was eating my last tartar sauce. I like tartar sauce on my fish. I was eating the last bit of tartar sauce. I was like, man, I want to have fish for dinner tomorrow, but I ain't got no more tartar sauce. But God is so good. That next day, I had walked to the store. I had no money. My bank account was 0, 0, 0. So I was just walking to the store for exercise. I was walking for exercise. Right before I was about to leave the store, I got a random text asking me what's my Cash App, and the lady sent me $20. I was able to go in the store and get my tartar sauce and have fish for dinner that night with tartar sauce. So I'm here to let you know that God is your provider. It don't matter what your bank account says. It don't matter. God has shown me that it don't matter. It really don't matter. I'm telling you, it don't matter. It's been plenty of times where I've been on my last and God has provided. God has touched a heart to sow into me so I can get whatever it is that I need. It's been time where I went to the store and got stuff that I needed. And still, I didn't have enough to get everything I needed. And then here go another random payment to get the rest of the stuff that I needed. God is constantly providing. He provides daily provision, weekly provision. Like his word says, I was young and now I'm old, yet I've never seen the righteous forsaken or their seed begging for bread. Never, never, ever. I'm telling you, you can depend on God. You can trust God. You can't depend on people. You can't depend on your job. You can't depend on your bank account. You can't depend on none of that. None of that. You can't depend on none of that. All of that will fail you. But God will never fail you. God will never disappoint you. He will never leave you. He will be there for you 24/7. You can depend on God. God is faithful to us. He is faithful to us. And he takes great care of his children. He takes great care of his children. He is our Heavenly Father. And he is a good, good Father. He is a good, good Father. He loves us so much, and he cares about every detail of our lives, every single detail. God cares. The stuff that people don't care about, God cares. The stuff that people overlook, they misunderstand you, God understands you. He cares about you. I pray that something I said has encouraged you all on this beautiful Thursday to know that God is bigger than your bank account. He's bigger than your job. He's bigger than your financial situation. God can provide for you in other ways outside of you working a 9 to 5 or whatever it is that you do. It don't matter. It don't matter what you can't afford because God owns it all. The cattle, the 1,000 hills, it all belongs to him. It don't matter what you can't afford. I couldn't afford summer clothes. I couldn't afford to go out and take myself shopping. But God did it for me. He did it for me. He provided in other ways. He used resources to help me. And he can do the same for you. It don't matter. It don't matter what you can't afford. God got it. God got it. He's able to take care of you. Just like his word says, he feeds the birds. He dresses the lilies. They don't labor. They don't spin. And God clothes them. He does the same for us. He just did it for me. He did all that for me. He provided. I mean, the ways he's been providing this year has been like no other. And now he's allowed me to return back to my part-time job next week. Even if it's just a temporary return, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that he is allowing me to return. He showed me that he is my provider. This is just overflow. This is just increase because I don't even need nothing. God has provided everything. I don't even need nothing. I don't need a thing. Me returning back to work is just increase. That's just overflow. God has already been providing, taking care of everything I need. And I cannot thank him enough. He is so good. He is so good. So trust God. I know you may be going through some uncertainty in your life. You may not know what's going on. It don't even matter. Just trust God because we walk by faith and not by sight. This is a blind faith walk because there has been so much uncertainty this year with my job and my financial situation. When we think the door is closed, I'm telling you, it's not over till God say it's over. It's not over until God say it's over. Be grateful in the moment. Enjoy the moment and enjoy the journey that God has you on. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to enjoy whatever little time that God has me returning. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long, I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to be grateful, knowing that it was only God that allowed me to return. Knowing that it was only God to put my name in my supervisor's heart and in his mind to bring me back. Nobody but God. God is just so good. So I just pray that you guys have a beautiful, blessed Thursday. Stay encouraged. Keep the faith. And know that God loves you. He loves you so much. It don't matter. It don't matter if other people love you, other people care about you. It don't matter. As long as you have God's love, you're going to be all right. Y'all have a blessed Thursday. Love all of you guys.